I'm the kind of person where I have a very, very specific way that I like things, okay? Like if I have an order, it's very specific. The way I lay my house out is very specific. The kind of women that I want to date, it's very specific. The way that I teach you guys is very specific, right? When I make a video, I can't just do a normal video with a white wall, right? I've got to go into like, I'm in the Alaska mountains right now. I paid $100,000 for the trip. I've got this angle of a mountain behind me. And if I don't have that, I'm going to freak the fuck out, okay? So that's the kind of person that I am. I'm a niche-based guy, right? Guys like me is where the money is at when you're starting. Because you're not, if the guy wants to watch the white wall self-help video that says, hustle hard and align to your values, right? The client that wants to watch that is already taken care of. So you're not going to win with that client. It's not going to happen. You cannot win with that client. He's already handled. She is already handled. 2024, they are already handled. Whatever, okay? They don't give a fuck about your white-walled self-help with the stick to your values bullshit. Fuck your bullshit. Fuck your non-niche bullshit. Fuck your lazy non-niche bullshit. They don't care. I don't care. Nobody cares. You want to get paid by riding in the tire tracks of somebody else? Everybody else does too. Fuck you. Okay? I want to watch the self-help guru who yells fuck you at me. You see what I'm saying? When I do a seminar, I create the seminar that I would watch. I would want to watch a full retard man yelling fuck you at me. I don't know why. Maybe someone could tell me why. I don't know why I feel compelled to tell Shane to take me into the forest. I don't fucking know why, okay? I don't fucking know. I just hate fucking Rite Aid herbs. I like dragon herbs a lot, but I like going in the forest better, okay? So if you're some weird motherfucker who wants to take me in the forest, I got money for you, okay? But if you want to compete with Rite Aid and say, well, I'm going to put my generic ginseng, like Tom ginseng, Fred ginseng, Casey ginseng, why would I buy that? Why would Rite Aid even service that? So the way that you get money, but it's also in social skills and dating too, the way that you get money is you're looking for, like, all the money ways are sealed. That you're not gonna get money the normal way in most cases, right? It's also, let me give another example, okay? Even if you want to go to school to become a chiropractor, okay? I use chiropractors. I spend a lot of money on chiropractors. Of course, a fucking weird one, okay? I go to a weird chiropractor, okay? Yeah, I go to a very, very weird chiropractor. Her name is Dr. Iris. Now, basically, but that aside, if you become a chiropractor, your rates are the regular rates of the regular chiropractor field, right? Those are established rates. The most expensive chiropractor that I go to is $120 per adjustment. That's very high. At the Joint Chiropractic, if you get a package, it's about $24 per adjustment. So as long as you're a chiropractor, your rates are predetermined, right? What if you're like the wiggity, woogity, mystical kind of chiropractor? What do you charge then? 100K per adjustment? Million per adjustment? No. Of course you do. Are you fucking dumb that you haven't thought of this shit? How fucking dumb are you that you didn't realize this? Because there's people out there, look, I don't do this shit. I think that shit's hella weird. But there's a place called Malibu, and there's women there with very wealthy husbands. And they do not live within the realm of up and down, left or right. They live in a world of magical thinking. And they have nothing to do. And their husband has a very, very small penis. Not because genetically he has a small penis, but he is fat and he is flaccid. And the fat from where his penis is shrinks the penis. And then his business focus for the past 30 years of neglecting his wife, who he once loved, work has destroyed him and he's out of shape. And now she married that guy at one point. She lives in Malibu. And so she wants to learn about manifestation, right? She wants to learn about The Secret. She wants to learn about the yoga, right? And there's a sucker born every minute. and she wants to learn about the voodoo, right? She'll pay her guru $30,000 to put out a manifestation, to put out a thought. I remember there was Wayne Dyer when he passed. I saw him before he passed, and he said, I got a surgery. It was a psychic surgery for my cancer from a guy who later got in trouble for being a cult leader named John of God. And he's like, John of God did my cancer surgery from Brazil. And he removed the tumor. And I laid down and I felt the tumor removed and I was healed, right? Now Wayne died a year later. But, RIP, I love the guy. Kind of more of a joke. But, hey, later John of God got more trouble than God. But the point is, like, of course Wayne is going to do the fucking remote cancer surgery. Why go under the knife and deal with all that bullshit when little Johnny boy in Brazil can just pay him $500,000 and he'll do the surgery remotely with his psychic powers? That's called niche, right? And very, very, very rich people, like, you guys are at a free event right now. Who's paying for this shit? This is probably 40, 50K to put on this shit for y'all. Film it and shit. Who's paying for this? It ain't y'all. It ain't y'all.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome, right? Who do you think pays for the fucking red lights Jordans in the Daytona? You? You think this is how I make my money? The way money is made is with wealthy people. There's a meme that you'll see online, okay? Here's what it is. There's a joke. Broke, $50 client, $50,000 client. $50 client. I sent you the $50. My life is about to change, and your life is definitely about to change. In other words, like, they sent you $50 and they're gonna, be on the call, they're gonna complain, they're probably gonna, and at the end they're gonna refund it, by the way. You know what I'm saying, right? Like, at the end, they're gonna refund it, okay? Because they're in hell, okay? They're in total scarcity hell, they're deranged. That's why they're broke. Then you have the 50K guy who's like, it's kind of like if I learned one thing, it was worth it. And then they skip half the sessions. I can barely get my rich clients to show up for sessions. I scream, where the fuck have you been? Oh, shit. I missed another class. Bro, what the fuck is your problem? That was a $20,000 class. Oh, I know. That's my reality, by the way. It's normal for me to get paid 20, 30K for a class I didn't teach. That's completely normal. Because I'm not dealing with a bunch of fucking brokies. I do the brokies for free. Charity. It's called the free tour. Yeah. It's called a free tour. So, but a couple of y'all will go on to be rich. You'll hire me. Like the PayPal Mafia. Okay? So how do I make my money?
Wealthy people.
A couple of you in this room understood what I just said. Okay? So that's where money gets made. Not with this shit. Okay? Not scrapping out with the brokies that are going to put their fucking dick in your ass for every penny that they gave you and then refund it after. Okay? So the thing is, basically what you do is you get that with a niche, because some rich guy doesn't want to go to you for some non-niche shit. They don't care. They don't care. They don't care. Okay? Same in dating, right? You do the same bullshit approach as every other guy. They don't care. Because they can get the best version of that. They already had the best version of that. Okay? Look, I remember one time I was dating this girl in New York. And she's like super spiritual type girl. Brilliant. And then she's like, I want to try, what'd she do? Acid. She did acid. Great. I'm not hating on her. I love this girl. But, she did acid. And she might watch this. I love her to death. But, kind of not my thing, right? So just difference of opinion. So basically, she's like, yeah, I kind of want to experiment with stuff like this. And then she's like, I don't want to get into modeling. I was in love with this girl, to be honest with you. But then I thought about it, I'm like, if I just want to get a girl that does drugs and modeling, I've got 1,000 of those that can come over to my mansion whenever I want. And this girl, and it was bi-coastal. She lived in New York, I lived in LA, and I was willing to keep flying out to see her and flying her to see me. I'm like, why'd I gotta fly in another model on coke? I've got those. I've got models on coke. I got more models on coke than I would know what to do with. So what am I doing with another model on coke? I've got the best version of the model on coke. My ex. CJ. Okay? So she's open about that. She does her little podcast. She's open about that. So the thing is, like, I don't gotta. She's sober now, so I'm real proud of her. But the point is, like, if I want a model on coke, I already have a model on coke. Why do you need another model on coke? What I liked about her was she was intelligent. She was sober, spiritually oriented, wanted to have a family. That stood out to me. For that, fuck, man, living in LA, I'll get you a ticket. But another model on coke? Come on, bro. Come on, bro. Another model on coke? That's basic shit, right? So I broke up with her. I didn't want to break up. I was in love with her. But I had to remind myself, I already have this. I don't need to fly this across. I don't need to be bi-coastal with a model on coke. So same thing. You're like, I want to do my basic approach. She has the 6'4", rich, millionaire, six-pack abs version of that. She has that. Okay? So, I'm going to make another basic product. That already exists. I'm going to be a chiropractor. That already exists. I'm going to be a doctor. A doctor's a good job, right? That already exists. What do you pay for a doctor? Whatever your insurance paid or whatever the going rate is. It's not distinguished. It's not different. Okay? If you actually look at me, everything about the way I drive my personality, how do I talk? What kind of things do I focus on? It's all niche. Okay? And you're supposed to have some fucking haters. Because then you're polarizing people. Okay? So you've got to drive the niche. Now, I'm in a wheelchair for the time being. This is healing up nicely. I'm not worried about it. But I've been in a wheelchair for 2 months. Did my dating life change at all? Do you think it got better, same, or worse?
Better. Better.
About the same and a little better. Only because I worked a bit less and went out a bit more. Why did it not make a difference? Why does me being in a wheelchair not make a difference? Why does me being older at 44 not make a difference?
You already know you're...
Because the driver of what was making it work was not that I was a Giga Chad. That was not that wasn't the widget. That wasn't the widget. That wasn't the driver. So if that wasn't the driver, the same girl who's gonna date a weirdo niche guy like me, it's like the wheelchair just makes it that much more of a ride. Right? If someone's gonna date me, it's not because they're trying to date, Tommy, the Yale lacrosse captain. Right? They're going for something different. So in effect, what I'm doing is I'm playing a niche angle, okay? Now, another thing to understand is if you're a little bit crazy, they think you're nuts. If you're batshit crazy, they make you their leader, okay? So repeat this after me. If you're a little bit crazy, they think you're nuts. If you are batshit crazy, they make you their leader. Leader. Okay? So, in effect, what it implies is two different things. One is you march to the beat of your own drum. That in and of itself, look, there's certain people that they march to the beat of their own drum, and they are starved for other people who march to the beat of their own drum. Look, I'm like that. My buddy Shane is another retard like me. What do I mean by that? I'm the retard who's like, I will run niche-based programs. I will travel the country. In the back of my video, I will fly my whole camera team to Kauai. We will go to the Waimea Canyon. We will hike in for 6 hours to the top of a waterfall. And from that waterfall, we will connect to our creator. And the creator will speak through me, but really I'm just a narcissist from Los Angeles. But I will think that the creator is speaking through me and believe it even. And probably put me on a lie detector test and I believe him. Really, I'm a narcissist from Los Angeles who thinks that he talks to God in Hawaii. Normal people go to Hawaii, they get a flower necklace. But Owen goes to Hawaii, he talks to the creator at the top of the waterfall and then makes a video about it that everyone cheers for him. Oh, bravo. Oh, bravo. Good for you. You're such a hero. You're fucking ridiculous. But you see what I'm saying? And so what happens is, that's like, I can't do a video not like that. My buddy Shane, he worked with Four Sigmatic and other medicinal mushroom companies like Chaga, Reishi, Lion's Mane, all that, cordyceps, all that stuff. He worked with them, and they have kind of like a good, healthy, positive offering, good net positive for society offering. They put it at Walmart, they put it at Rite Aid, CVS, places like that, Walgreens, places like that. I don't know exactly what. But he couldn't do it. Shane has the Myron glass, a special glass that nails him around $10 a glass for the fucking glass that none of y'all even know what the fuck it is and are gonna throw in the garbage. Then he puts it in on some fucking bullshit moon cycle and then he sings to it. Okay? And for the alcohol that he used to extract the mushroom, you don't drink the alcohol, but he uses it as extraction. He uses like a high-end Japanese whiskey. So his Reishi bottle is gonna run you about $200. That is the only Reishi I will take. Dragon herbs are there too. Why? Because I'm a fucking moron. Okay? But I only want the $200 bottle of Reishi. That's the one I want. I want that one. Okay? So some people, it's just some people, they like it how they like it. They like it how they like it. And they're willing to pay to get the experience that they want. Okay? I've done floor seats of the Lakers, sitting beside Floyd Mayweather. Why would I do something like that? I like it how I like it. What do floor seats cost?
10 grand, 45,000.
You're both right. Depends on the game. So the point that I'm getting at here, I've been invited for free ones and I paid. But if you just go a couple rows back, you get the exact same experience. But some people just want to be on the floor. Some people don't feel like a big, straight, heterosexual man until an athlete shoots their sweat on their face. Right? Yeah, I'm a man. Yeah. D'Angelo Russell's armpit sweat hit my cheek. Thank God I gave these people 20 grand. That never actually happened, but I'm just joking with you. So, but if it did, it would have been that much more glorious. Now, okay, so what I'm saying is that's niche shit. That's people who are willing to pay for that, right? So the thing is, it's people that have passion for these topics, that love these things, that are willing to pay. Now, you're like, no, I don't want to do that. No, I don't want to be creative. No, I don't want to use my brain. Okay, fine. You don't want to use your brain, right? You want to just go in the tire tracks that somebody else built. Fine. Then get paid $24 every time that you do a fucking adjustment at the joint while the joint keeps 23 of it. Good fucking luck to you. You did what everybody else did. You got the results that everybody else got. Bravo. 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 Way to use your fucking brain. Okay? So the reason why you have to do this, we're not in this isn't the 1950s, okay? If you go watch, there's a movie you could watch, a documentary, it's called Century of the Self, okay? It's created by a Oxford professor. You can watch it on YouTube, okay? So of course I can't just watch, regular shit. I have to watch an Oxford documentary by a snooty professor called The Century of the Self, right? It's made for people like me. If you like niche, it's made for people like you. And what he goes over there was that back in the day, in the early 1900s, people bought, a pair of shoes, a fridge, a car, a house. And then what happened was they did that, and then at the end of it, They had everything. And there was no more elasticity in the economy. So then they came in and they said, wait a minute, no. Oh, no, 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 no. Who you are is best expressed by your consumer choices. Therefore, you need 30 jackets, 30 shoes, expensive shit. Okay? I probably own about $2 million in leather jackets. Why? I thought one of you might know. Why do I own $2 million in leather jackets?
Because you like niche shit.
Because I get to express myself, guys. Guys, look at this nice purple leather jacket. It contrasts the background. And literally, that's what I'm thinking. That's literally how I'm thinking. Now, by the way, what's another? The average leather jacket I own is probably $4,000 to $7,000 per jacket. Why would I buy $7,000? What is the market? Why do they market to someone like me? Why would I only want a leather jacket if it was at least $5,000? If not, really 7 or 8 would be better. I don't want it if it's not worth that. Why? Because I lose money every time I buy a jacket. That's how you market to rich people. Every time I buy a jacket or a watch, I'm getting killed financially. Why is that? Come on, guys. Come on. Why do I get killed financially every time I go buy something? Why do I get killed financially every time I do the dishes? Why do I get killed financially? What's that? Opportunity cost, right? So in other words, the way that you run a business is that you build up to where you have a task in your business that's worth minimum wage. What do you do then as soon as you build up your business where you have a task that you could hire for minimum wage? What do? You hire somebody, right? Okay? So, look, if I'm a good coach, let's say that I have 5 one-on-one clients. Let's say that a couple of them are paying me $5K an hour, right? Some are paying me $10K an hour. What's my goal as a coach? If I've got like 5 main clients or something that are doing that. What's my goal? To get rid of the ones at 10K. How many of you in this room, if you could work for an hour for 10K, I'd be pretty happy? I remember what it was like. I could pull my phone out right now with offers for 65K saying you'll get 65K for a weekend. I can't do it. I can't afford to do it. I can't afford to get paid 65K for 3 days. Why? Because the overhead on my business is too high. 3 days isn't really 3 days because my voice will be tired after. I probably want to rest before, so it's probably about 5 to 6 days. I can't run my business off of, let's say that I only made 65K a week. That would only be, that'd be $260K a month. I have a higher run rate to my business than $260K. So I can't work for 65K. Do you understand that? So normal people that are running businesses, if I have a business partner and I found them doing the dishes, I would be damn well tempted to take a fucking shovel and crack it on their fucking head. What the fuck you mean you're doing the fucking dishes, bitch? Get back to work. I find somebody that I'm working with editing a video. What the fuck are you doing editing you don't get paid as a fucking video editor? You don't get paid to sit there doing accounting? You're paid too much, bitch. Get back to work. If a rich guy goes and buys a jacket, why is he losing money?
Because he has to go.
He should have been banking money. Not sitting there, I'm shopping. I'm bargain hunting. Oh, look, I got a $600 jacket. In the 3 hours that it took me to find it, I saved a couple $1,000. Motherfucker, you're not making more than a couple $1,000 an hour? Then why is your pay that high? So what happens when that happens? Come on in, bro. So what happens when that happens? I'll tell you what happens. Somebody who, at some point, no matter how rich you are, wouldn't you kind of want to go shopping at some point? No matter how rich, now a lot of them have personal shoppers, by the way. You go to stores in LA, you'll see racks. You're like, whose rack is that? Oh, it's Leo's rack. They're going to show him a bunch of shit at his house. But sometimes you just want to go shopping. You know, you want to shop. You just want to shop. I don't know why. You're bored. You just want to go shopping. You want to walk, you live in the city. You want to shop, right? So you go shopping. If you knew that you just gave away 30, 40K to go shopping, you paid 30 grand, 40 grand to go shopping, and then there's a jacket for 7,000, wouldn't you buy it? So a rich person is not price sensitive. What are they? They're time sensitive. They want to go right to the top, And they want exactly what they want to the letter. So what catering to rich people does is it allows you to find, look, I'm perfectly fine to cater to broke people, middle level people, high level. I don't care. Who cares? Why is it hard to get to people that are broke at starting a business?
Because they don't want to spend.
They don't want to spend, but they'll still spend a little bit. Why not do a volume play?
They ask for a ton. Money.
They ask for a lot. It's not just that. You can't sell to them. They don't want your shit. They don't want your bullshit because they're already served. Look, the main money is in the brokies, actually, by the way. But you can't access it. The main money's in the brokies. You can't access it. Why? You're never going to access it. You are 100 lifetimes away from accessing that money. Why?
Gatekeepers.
Because Amazon has it. Amazon's got the brokies. You're not fucking Amazon. Amazon is eventually trying to get drones to drop the shit off. Like talk about Century of the Self. It's like fucking sky full of fucking drones and shit. Running around feeding people's gluttony of consumerism. Okay? 92 cents gets you all this shit. They have economies of scale. They've got machines that can run. Amazon ran in negative profit for years. You can't afford to do that. That's so while, look, if I release this as a video, some motherfucker is going to be like, hey, there's an example. I started a low ticket business and I made money, and that's fine, and they're not wrong. There's cases of everything in the world. But usually what you're looking, okay, most of that real estate is already taken, okay? It's taken. So given that that's taken, then you got to start going, well, what are some other plots that I could get? Okay, well, can I build something really, really, really specific for a very, very specific person who understands that they can't get that elsewhere? Like, I will pay Shane Tyler Milson any amount of money he asks to take me in the forest. Heterosexual man that I am, me and Shane go for a fairy dance in the forest together. Okay? So, why? Because at a certain point, you're going for an experience money can't even buy. I want to go with the main herbalist guy in the fucking forest. I want to learn about herbs. I made a whole video about it. You guys seen that video? Who here seen that video? Baller fucking video, okay? I want to go in the forest with the main dude, and I will pay anything to do it. Because I'm not price sensitive. I'm time sensitive. Whatever he charges me, I'm going to lose more because I didn't work that weekend. You understand how much money I lost by running around with fucking Shane? I'm getting killed. So from that standpoint, I'm not price sensitive. So the more weird that he can make it, the more likely I am to pay. The less weird that it is, the more that I'm like, oh, I can get that for free. Oh, Four Sigmatic is a great product. I don't want Four Sigmatic. I want the Myron glass singing to the fucking bottle in the moonlight. I don't even know what that shit is. I just want it. Okay? I don't even know what it is. Okay? That Malibu housewife, she wants to be told the special incantation. Wiggity, waggity, woo. Oh my God, give this man $250,000. Okay? Because if that guy tries as a chiropractor, she don't want a chiropractor. And if she does want a chiropractor, the joint already ate that up. Do you guys know what the joint is?
Yeah.
Hell of a deal. Hell of a deal. Hell of a deal. Chiropractors kind of vary in quality. I have a joint membership because I don't want to do that bullshit console whenever I go to a different city. And they have joints. They got it in fucking Alaska now. I went to the Anchorage, the joint. I think I did anyway, I'm pretty sure. Did we? Yeah. Yeah, we did. Okay, so I've been to the fucking Anchorage, the joint. I've been in a lot of cities. Okay? So like, you're gonna compete with this fucking company that has venture capital, setting up a fucking chiropractor company that barely makes profit in fucking Anchorage? Yeah, right, bro. Crush it, bro. Yeah, don't have a limiting belief. You can do anything. Shut the fuck up. Okay? So I'm not saying that the only way to make money is in niche, but what I'm saying is like you become a lawyer. I thought of becoming a lawyer. Imagine me as a lawyer. I object. What do you object for? Just want to object. You know, right? Like, you know, or I could have been a professor in a school. I was going to go for I went to Queen's University. It's like a Harvard or Yale in Canada. Y'all never heard of it. But if I become a prof at Queen's, really high level job, what would I have made? 120? You can't raise a family off that. You can't live in Los Angeles on 120K a year. That's why nobody in LA has a job. LA is notorious that it's like, what do? Like they wake up at noon, they sit at a cafe, they sit at Earth Cafe or at fucking Erewhon or some shit. You want to talk about an expensive niche-based place? We'll talk about Erewhon. Thank you for reminding me. We'll talk about Erewhon. Okay? We'll have Ibrahim pull out my Erewhon bills. Okay? Glass bottle of chocolate almonds, dark chocolate. $17. Buying it. So, okay. Because it's like 0.1% better than regular chocolate almonds. And I'm happy to buy it. Do you understand that if I got kicked out of Erewhon, I'd be so upset? Give me my $17 bottle of fucking almonds, okay? I'd be so pissed. I'd feel like I'm getting screwed, not them, okay? Why? Because by the time that I go buy those almonds, I lost money. So it's like if I just lost 10 grand to go buy fucking almonds, I don't care if they're 17, if I lost 10 grand and 17, or if I lost 10 grand and 9, or 10 grand and 1. I just want the best ones. And if we're being honest, maybe I'm a little bit miserable with how many hours I work. Catch this, please. Please catch this. Let this land. If you do, you could be rich. I may be a little miserable with how many hours I work. I may be a touch in inner conflict with how much time with my family I gave up to work. But if I can have a $17 bottle of almonds, I can tell myself a story that I made the right choice. You see that? I could tell myself a story that I made the right choice. Maybe I wouldn't say this about me. I have my own weird shit. But as an example, maybe I was someone damaged from childhood. Maybe I got picked on a little too much and that propelled me to become a multi-millionaire. And maybe me getting to have my $17 chocolate almonds makes me feel better about Timmy whooping my ass on the playground. You see what I'm saying? That's all this is. That's all this is. It's toys for broken little men. For broken, sad little men. Sad little Gollum, trollish little men who were so hurt from childhood that they were going to show the world. They were going to show the world that they were wrong. That mommy was wrong. Daddy shouldn't have touched me. Look at this. Look at my car. It's this close to the ground and farts. Lamborghini. It's this close to the ground and it goes. You can't even drive it in the parking lot because it hits the bottom. It drives so quick it makes you want to puke. Makes you feel sick. They're not fun to drive in. My friends, they're like, we're going to go drive this Lambo. I'm like, ugh, get me some Dramamine or some shit, right? Like it farts. It can't go over a curb. It basically costs more to be less. This costs more to be less. The best watch is like an Apple Watch or a quartz watch, not an automatic watch. It costs more to be less. It costs more so that the other person can't get it. Truffle mushrooms. What the fuck is a truffle mushroom? A truffle hunting dog hunts the truffle mushroom in, I believe, Italy. There's truffle mushroom dog wars fought over the truffle mushroom. The truffle mushroom then goes on sale during truffle mushroom season at the high-end restaurants. And that same dinner that was normally $200-300 becomes $400 or $500 or more. The truffle mushroom tastes like shit. But the emperor has no clothes. You guys know that parable? Right? I probably fucked this one up. The emperor's like, I'm gonna go to the top tailor in the land. And then basically the tailor goes here and just gives him nothing, gives him no clothes at all. And then everyone goes, oh my God, this is genius, this is amazing. Oh, this outfit created by the best tailor, his dick's out. And then he literally, then he comes to the presentation. for all the land to see his new clothes from the best tailor, walks out butt naked with his cock out. I can't remember if the punchlines he gets laughed at or if everybody else goes, wow, okay? That's what that shit is. It's called The Emperor Has No Clothes. It's bullshit. This is The Emperor Has No Clothes. Lambo is the Emperor Has No Clothes. Okay? The wiggity potion is The Emperor Has No Clothes. It's all fucking bullshit. Floor seats of the Lakers is The Emperor Has No Clothes. It's not even necessarily better on the floor seats. It's if you want to get very specific, they are in the halo effect matrix reality, and they are hidden from God and hidden from nature and live via the social matrix of ego perceptions, which is basically a false reality that they are deceived by. And so they live in that reality. That'll be a talk for another day. Okay? I'll just glaze over that one and leave it hanging of what that might mean. Okay? In other words, go out into nature and be like, this is nature, motherfucker! This is reality, motherfucker! Okay? Go look at it. Go fucking look at reality. Okay? You're here in Colorado. It's over up that hill, bitch. Okay? So, you're right on the edge of reality. Unlike LA, where you'd be hours like, I'm still in the Matrix, okay? So, you ever flown over it? So, okay, so from that standpoint, they will pay, okay? They pay. They will pay. So, they got your money. Go try to do the mainstream basic thing. What's going to happen? Good luck. I'm going to invent a headache cure called Mylenol. They already got Tylenol. They already got Tylenol. Who give a fuck about Mylenol? We got Tylenol. Not only do we have Tylenol, we have the Rite Aid version of Tylenol for the brokies. So you have Brochy Tylenol, which is the exact same chemical compound as the real Tylenol. Now we all know that the real Tylenol and Brochy Tylenol is the exact same shit. But you may buy the real Tylenol because you don't identify as the kind of consumer for Brochy Tylenol. So, I never even use the word brochy in my speeches because it's a Tate phrase. And now I'm talking like I'm Tate. Okay? It's my best Tate impression. Bugatti. Okay? So the thing is like, it's, I don't know where this came from. I'm in the mood. So, it's, I think the same frustration that he feels, that the apathy of people that don't think, it's like the frustration that probably he feels is like, why don't you think? Come on, man. Come on, man. Can you think? Can you fucking think? It's not even about the money. Fuck the money. What's more important than money? That you fucking think. So you see, so you got to find a crack in the dam. The money's all walled up. What's the crack in the dam? Internet. Internet. By coincidence, right when all the opportunities got plugged up and you were just getting ready to become a coal miner, ta-da! Internet. And then, ta-da! Highly illegal and unethical mass surveillance. You are under mass surveillance. They are recording your conversations illegally, but you probably clicked yes on some 98-page terms and condition to make it legal. Right? Imagine if this shit didn't exist and in the 80s they just said we're going to put a camera in all of your houses and record everything you do. People would have been up in arms. Very literally, by the way. But if it's got a cool app, fuck it. Watch me whack off. Hey, CIA member. I stroke it like this. Okay? I gotta get my app. Can't live without it. And they can change society to where you need a smartphone to survive, so you have no choice. You have no choice anyway. But you have choice to burn in hell. Right? You have a choice to live in a forest alone. But if you want to participate in normal society, you gotta have a phone, and they're gonna fucking surveil you, and they're gonna watch you whack off your little pee-pee. So while they're watching you whack off your little pee-pee, you're like, oh, I like feet. Right? That's what I do anyway. So, oh, give me those feet, girl, yeah. Right? And then it goes, beep, 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 beep. this fucking chode, he's got a foot fetish. And then next thing in your fucking feet. And then you're like, and then you're like, oh no, I can't stop. I'm fapping all the time. This fucking phone read my mind. Oh shit, I gotta stop fapping to feet. And then it goes feet, and then now you're just like, right with your little peenie, you know? Micro peenie. Feet. And then it's like a loop. It's like feet. And then every time, and then it's like, would you like to sign up for $9 a month for some extra feet? And you're like, no, I'm not gonna, fuck it. And then it's like feet, right? And then it's like, would you like to sign up for $99 a month for more feet for that little micro pee-pee? And you're like, I do, fuck it. And then it's just bilking your bank account out. You're like about it. And then they're just like, right? And then the guy in the CIA like watching, he's like, yeah, I like feet now too. And he's like, yeah, oh, yeah. You're just like, And then this guy's like, yeah, money. Then they like sacrifice a goat. They're like, the New World Order. Klaus Schwab. An angrier world. Klaus like, How much longer do you want to do this? I can do this the rest of the day if you want. Okay. The niche-based seminar, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. Okay. That's right. You're in a niche. You don't want the Tony Robbins seminar. You don't want the Tony Robbins seminar. You want the fucking gnome in a wheelchair to whack off to his feet, right? And if it doesn't have that, it fucking sucks. Tell the truth. You can never see a Tony Robbins seminar ever the same after this, right? Because you're like, where's the feet masturbation? Where's the feet masturbation, Tony? I don't care about unleashing a giant within. How about it whack off to the feet within the fucking phone matrix while the CIA gets rich? What the fuck, Tony? This shit sucks, Tony. And he's like, what happened? This niche-based shit's fucking weird. I want to unleash the giant within. This guy wants to masturbate to my toes. And you're like, wait a minute, you do have big feet. And then you're like, beep, Tony. Right? You're coming all over Tony's feet. He's slipping all over the place. Then he dies, and I become the top guru. You understand?
Yes!
Right? That's right, Tony. We're coming. They're going to whack on your feet, Tony. I'm probably going to meet him someday. I'm like, hey. Hi, Tony. Yeah. So, okay, so that's niche, right? That's niche. Okay, so do you see how, now, if I'm giving a speech, what do? I'm leaning into the niche. Look how I'm even talking. Listen, fucking brokey, fucking bad. Okay, what am I doing? I'm leaning into the niche. None of you in here want to go to a generic self-help seminar. You don't. How could you after this? Right? Once you go feet CIA masturbation, you never go back. So you can't go back, right? So why do you think women would date a weird guy like me? Because they're kind of bored. They've seen the regular guy. Like how you guys would choose to be here over, say, some regular self-help thing. You know? Like, say we load up, and I love the guy, by the way, so I'm not trying to hate, Brendan Bouchard, right? Like, Brendan, he's like a standard self-help guy. Bouchard. Motivation. This made me rich.
What are the most...
Here's Brendan.
Yes, income. Happiness, confidence, productivity, income, your influence with others, your levels of courage, resilience, the quality of relationships you report, how much you're engaged at work.
And he's one of the best guys. Can you watch this now? Never again.
Ruined.
Ruined. And I love Brendan. And again, I'm gonna meet Brendan. Hey, don't look at this one video, Brendan. Okay? You can't. You can't do it, right? You can't, because it's just too boring. Okay? So people will pay for something a little bit more interesting, something a little different that you believe in. You got to believe in it. You got to own it. So when I'm even up here doing these little imitations, I am fully owning it. When Shane Tyler Milson does the weird $200 thing of Rishi, he fucking owns it. Like when he's gonging this fucking thing, he believes this shit. I don't believe in it, but he believes in it. And I just believe it because he believes it. And I don't believe it. I don't think singing to the Rishi does shit. But I would never take Rishi that someone didn't sing to now. Because I just want to pay for a little man named Shane to sing to my Rishi. I mean, the more I think about it, the more I'm like, what the fuck am I doing? And yet I will still buy another bottle. Okay? I will. And maybe it's because it tells me he cares. You know? Maybe it's that. It's not another fucking factory. He gives a fuck. Okay? So maybe it's just more that. I don't know. But it gives it a little extra spice. So what I'm looking to do is I'm looking for cracks in the dam, not just a wall that I can't break through. What I was referring to with the phone, guys, is that the phone is listening to everybody. And so if whatever people say, it delivers that content to them. Okay? You ever talk about like some whack shit, like something bad that you don't like at all, and then it starts coming up in your fucking feed, and now when you're like showing video to your friend and some weird shit comes up, you know what I'm saying, right? And you're like, you know, right? Because they're listening to you. They're writing down taglines. And look, by the way, part of why they did that, there's a number of reasons why, but one of them was back in the day you had subs. You remember back when if you subscribed to a YouTube channel, you got delivered the content? And then later they said, no, it has to be notification. Then now it's not even notification, it's about the feed that the AI algorithm curates for you. Part of why they had to do that, there's a lot of selfish reasons they did it, but a pragmatic reason they did it that was not selfish was that there's too many YouTube channels. And everybody winds up subscribing to like 5,000 people, so it stopped working. So people started clicking off. So they actually had to do that to make it curated. What does that mean for you? That means that you've got to go into who you are and into your niche, so to speak, and you've got to start saying to yourself, well, what is it that I'm good at and what can I buy into? And then if you do that, you can actually begin to build something out. And then from there, it's easier than ever now to be able to find a tribe. Then what you do, like take a city like this, Denver, you come to a place like Denver, you get together the 100 people that actually think that what you do is cool, and then what do I look like here in a room that is curated via the power of evil and illegal AI, but somehow makes sense that we allow and we just let it slide by. So the AI is what got you here. The artificial intelligence, well, it may kill us someday, perhaps, I don't know, got you here in this room. Okay, it served this content up to you, got you here. How fucking cool do I look in this room as opposed to a regular room where people don't know me? I'm the fucking man in here. I'm the fucking man in this room. Now, funny enough, I'll teach you how to be the man in a room where nobody fucking knows you, because I know how to do that too. But the point is that if somebody, for example, I've had some conversations with Dan Bilzerian. And one of the things that Dan would joke about is he goes, with my setup, you could be a monkey sitting in there and, you know, people just come up to you, start rubbing all over you. Because the setup is created, right? So this is set up in a way where whatever I would say up here, people will be paying attention to. Okay? So you can frame yourself within the capacity of a leader by picking a niche, delving into that niche extensively, and don't just be lazy about it. Look, I've been to every type of boot camp and training in my niche. I know the people in my niche. I've gone on to, part of why I do events like this in cities, to meet people in different cities so I know where they go out, I know what their problems are, I quiz them, I engage with them. I engage with people on the street, people in events, people at paid events, and rich people. I engage with the whole thing so I can know my craft, right? I read all these different books and I'm always going out, so I love what I do, right? I engage in it and I love it. So you've got to kind of work it a little bit. It's not just about being lazy. So you work it a little bit, okay? And then what winds up happening is as you're working it, you become an authority in that reality. Now, you're not going to have the all of you worship me seminar. The Owen worship seminar. It's called Worship Owen, everyone. And the whole world names their child Owen and Owenette. They have Owen and Owenette Jr. and Owen and Owenette Jr. Jr. and Owen and Owenette Jr. 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 That's what y'all want deep down. You don't want a niche. You just wish that you could be called the Kevin Seminar and everybody would just come, or the Kevin product and everyone just buys it. You don't need to be creative. The reason we resist a niche, two of them. One is we're fucking lazy and stupid, and the other is we're afraid of disapproval. So we would have to exert a little bit of mental fortitude to think about something creative. That takes more than just derping around. And then we would have to proceed to be rejected. Because if we look up Owen Cook on the internet, do we just find, Owen's great. Owen's a swell guy. I love Owen. Owen, I'm going to call my kid Owen Jr. Is that all we find? Owen scam, Owen bad guy, Owen dickhead, because you went niche. Now, you guys watch those videos maybe, and you're like, man, this guy's a dick. This guy helped my life. People resonate with different things depending on what vibration they're at. Somebody in low vibration watch something at high vibration, they intuitively hate it. None of us are Jesus, I'm not Jesus, but Jesus had a statement where he said, they will hate you because of me. And part of that statement was, when you're in high vibes, people in low vibes fucking hate you. Could be that. Or it could be that you're just a little weird. Could be that you're controversial. Could be that you're serving a specific group and other groups wish that you would serve them and are frustrated. Could be a competitor who believes that derogation and competition is a viable business strategy, but they'll claim to be unbiased. They're just trying to help you, bro. Just trying to help you, bro, by telling the authentic truth. But then buy my shit instead. Could be that. For whatever the reason, you're going to have blowback, right? So if you're going to go niche, you've also got to understand that you're going to have some fucking blowback. It's not a bad thing to have some fucking blowback. Look, I get all this shit on the internet. I walk down the street, I get nothing but love. I've never had somebody give me a hard time in person. If they did, that's okay too. I've never had it. These are basement dwellers. You're afraid of a fucking basement dweller. And if the basement dweller saw you in real life, they'd be nice to you anyway. I bet you a lot of people that have been nice to me on the street made troll comments. And then, there's a guy, because they don't have a core. So they respond to their emotions, and their emotion goes towards haterade, and then their emotion goes towards social value. There's no core. So it's not anything to be worried about, okay? But you gotta be willing to make some fucking noise, okay? You guys want to make some noise? Yeah! Let's go! Good, okay? You gotta be willing to make some noise. So, that's how you get rich. And by the way, you know the cool thing? You can mainstream your niche. Something that starts as like pickleball. Pickleball. I still don't even know what it is. But apparently Tom Brady just bought a pickleball league. And then my ex-girlfriend now plays pickleball. And you all play pickleball? Yeah. Looks cool. Is it going more mainstream now? Yeah. Pickleball courts, pickleball whatever. So, pickleball. Pickleball? Fucking pickleball? I mean, man, if fucking Tom Brady buy a pickleball league, part of it, I think you can figure out your niche, right? So a lot of these things cross over. Why do they cross over? Because people follow the crowd. So look this up on your phone. I think it's Jeffrey Miller Crossing the Chasm, okay? Look it up on your phone. Jeffrey Miller Crossing the Chasm. What's the little thing you see? The graphic, okay? There's all these graphics. First one, innovators. Second one, early adopters. Then there's a chasm. Third one, early majority. Fourth one, late majority. Fifth one, laggards. Okay? Ibrahim, I got any drinks here?
Yeah, I got you.
That'd be cool. You want to see? I have like a prickly pear juice coming. I couldn't drink the normal drink from downstairs. I needed to order prickly pear juice. Okay? Like, look, I'm embarrassed now because I didn't know. Thank you. I didn't know he would bring these. Okay? This was not done for the speech. I have 4 drinks here, and I'll take a sip a little bit out of one of each. I just got to figure out which one's the fucking prickly pear. Okay? So, okay? Thank you. Look, I sometimes order clothes on the internet that I don't even want to wear just because I'm curious what it looks like. Okay? Because I would lose more money trying to figure out what it looks like than just order it. Okay? Now you guys are hearing this, you're like, what the fuck, what planet have I descended onto, right?
Why are you doing the free events?
What's that?
Why are you doing the free tour?
I do free tours because we do digital products, okay? My average digital product will sell about $2 million. I keep all of that. And when I do $2 million, I will, if you've ever seen the products that I've done, Blueprint Decoded, Blueprint Reloaded, and Hot Seat, those, in my personal opinion, but this is bias, are not only the best in the dating space ever made, they're not only the best in the self-help space ever made, I don't think there's a better digital product in any space than those. But the reason why is because I teach trainings all the time. So I come here, I workshop content, and I also happen to believe I'm the best public speaker. I just happen to believe that, okay? I could be wrong. Maybe Brendan Bouchard's got the crown. But I love Brendan. But I believe I'm the best. So I was willing to put in the time and energy, because remember, I can't just do this. Who else is good around me? All the instructors. Who else is good? All the different super famous long-form influencers that I coached. Who else is good? My fucking 11-year-old son could run this event. Everybody around me is good, okay? My accountants have been with hundreds of women. Okay? I didn't even coach them. They're just in the environment. My lawyers have an obnoxious dating life. So like everybody around me is winning. So that's the thing. The shit that we do works. Everybody around me is winning. But how? Because the free tours and all the endless coaching, we put in practice. We put in work. I also went out 7 days a week, often 8 hours a day, just to put the work in when I was younger. I'm not afraid to put in the work. And let me tell you another thing. What more fun could I have than being at a free event doing this? And you know what's cool? A paid event, you can't do like this. I can't do a paid event like this. Paid event is for you guys. To be honest, this event's for me. It's true. I could teach you guys hundreds of times better than I'm teaching you now. But this is its own art form. If I was teaching you guys, first of all, we'd be in the field. Of course. Well, I'd be in here, right? We'd be in the field. But second of all, we'd be doing it exercise-driven. Okay? It'd be all exercise-driven. Thirdly, it'd be all personal feedback-driven. I would just be pulling you guys up. I'd be digging into your life. Maybe we'll do some of it this weekend. But usually if I do a boot camp, that's a smaller group. That is exercise-driven, that is personal feedback-driven, and that's field-driven. That's the best I can teach. So this is more me riffing, making video content, and then like Tom Brady, I'm watching my own content later, reviewing it, and seeing what I would have done different. That said, how cool is it that my hobby is doing free events for you guys?
Cool.
Cool hobby?
Yes.
Helps you guys too. So you know what that's called? That's called a win-win. Okay? That's called a win-win. So continue down the niche. So no, I couldn't live the life that I live, the life that you guys see me living, it doesn't come from fucking free tours, okay? So going from there, niche-based driven, high ticket, even things like a digital, while being low ticket compared to my high ticket, still $300 to $600. And you're still gonna sell them, you know, like hotcakes. You see what I'm saying? So they go. But you know what's kind of funny? I'm a capitalist who's kind of like a communist. I'm like a communist, but I don't want the government telling me who I share my shit with. So I pay my staff really fucking well, and I treat you guys really fucking well, and I keep my prices really good, but that's because I chose to. I chose to do that, and to spread the wealth around, and to pay everybody really well. I've made a lot of people millionaires, but I chose to fucking do that. But the fucking government doesn't fucking tell me to do that. Do you understand? So that's another thing too, okay? When the government tells you it, fuck you, okay? They make a communist system, I'll never work again. I don't give a fuck. Even though I would do this for free, you make me do it, I will commit suicide before you make me do it. I would never be told by the fucking government what I have to do, okay? So, thank you. That never happened. So, okay, let's keep going on niche then, okay? So to help you guys out here. So I had you guys do that exercise earlier about niche, okay? So that exercise is correlated to business, and that exercise is also correlated with dating and social skills. So you gotta understand, what most people are doing, let's shift it to social skills a little bit here, okay? Later we can talk about monetization models. What most people are doing with social skills is they are trying to do what's called, they're trying to fit in what's called consensus reality. So by the way, until you either become hella confident or until you believe in God, there's an argument. I'm not saying I don't want to dehumanize people. So I'm not saying that. You should treat every living human, treat as a human and never hurt them and love them, no matter where they're at, because we're all at different places in our journey, right? But by way of looking at it, unless you either believe in God or unless you are confident, what we traditionally think of as human and humanity is actually quite hard to achieve. Here's why. If you're hella confident, say you're an alpha male as an example, alpha male, you're confident, you know that you can survive. So you're not afraid to have a real opinion because you know that even if you're persecuted for your opinions, that you'll survive. Or even if you're not some super confident person, but you believe in God, you know that you're something more than the body. So you know fundamentally that truth is more important to you, or trying to find the truth is more important to you than consensus reality. But if you are not confident and you don't believe in God wholeheartedly, and you believe that you're just a meat suit that's gonna die, your brain is gonna seek out consensus reality over and over and over and over. What's the group thing? What's the group thing? Look, what do we see in 2020? Like a circus of consensus reality. That's, by the way, that's one of the reasons I believe in God. I believe in the power of coincidences. I've never in my life had a staff member bring in like 4 drinks in a thing like this. You'll never see a video where that ever happened. But how good was that to make the point of the niche thing? Like the secret behind the scenes thing of Owen is like, I'm gonna get 4 different drinks and all different colors. Like how weird does that look? You know what I mean, right? It's like, first I'm like, you're kind of embarrassing me right now, Chris. And then I'm like, actually, this feeds the seminar, right? So it's kind of like a funny thing, right? That's what I'm saying, right? When you care more, when you're more time sensitive and less price sensitive, and you want exactly what you want. That's what I'm kind of trying to point at. But did you guys, a key piece to catch before we keep going, did you guys catch that you can't do the regular thing because there's no crack in the dam? It's already taken. Yeah. Do you guys catch that main point?
Yeah. Yes.
You guys, could you guys please confirm to me that you caught that point? Because if you don't catch that point, you'll wonder why. You'll be like, I don't know, it's like some niche thing.
Yes.
You have to catch that point.
Yes, sir.
You guys caught that point?
Yes.
Okay, so why do we kind of, look, I'm not saying for everyone, there's exceptions to every rule, but why is it that in general, the gold rush is a niche? Why is that?
Every other resource that could be exploited has been exploited.
Yeah, it's like they've made the drywall. They've made the log, like the timber. They've made the dishwasher. You see what I'm saying? Yep. They've made that. So let's say that you were gonna make a dishwasher, a brand new dishwasher, right? How would you sell it? You could make, you could plug into different groups, niches, videos, search engine about that topic. And then what you do is you become a powerful communicator. You become an insanely, insanely good communicator. And then what winds up happening is you can lead the group, right? I never had to teach cold approach. You guys realize that? I don't need to teach cold approach. Why? I'm like a fucking QVC salesman. I could teach anything. I could make a jumping rope thing. Dan Kennedy coined this thing. He says, I'm not in the flower business. I'm not in the computer business. Okay? I'm not in the business of peaches. I'm not in the business of cars. I'm in the business of making motherfucking money. What does that mean when he says that? I'm in the business of making motherfucking money. What does that mean?
Being able to market anything across anything.
Yell out loud.
Being able to market anything
Yeah.
across multiple domains.
If you can talk how I talk, and you understand sales how I understand sales, and you know how to make social media how I know how to make social media, do I have to teach cold approach? Right? A QVC salesman, a really good pitch man, does a pitch man on QVC, that like sales channel, do they sell only one thing? No, they're like, the new thing we're looking at today is the jelly bean machine. Woo! Okay? Now today it's these cool antlers commemorating Montana's founding. Right? So they're in the business of making motherfucking money. Okay? So that comes down to communication, social media, understanding how to plug into different channels, different groups, and where the money is. Okay? And just like a bear in Alaska getting clams off the beach, and they're just going around getting clams, then it goes over to Bricks Falls and gets some salmon. You're just a hunter. You're just a squirrel out to get a motherfucking nut. You know, you're just dicking around on the internet. Where's it at? Why did I do cold approach? Because I had light level autism, and technically still do. So I wanted to get paid to put all my time in that because it was such a problem for me. Okay, autism plus a high sex drive, bad combo. Okay, so I picked cold approach, but you could pick anything. Okay, now a couple things to review. When I'm talking like this is me times a million. This is fucking me. Okay? So am I public speaking at this point? Or am I just kind of pulling away the mask? What do you guys think?
Taking a pulling away the mask.
This isn't public speaking. Fuck public speaking. Take off the mask and be your fucking self. Okay? That's what this shit is. This is me speaking for, I don't even know what's going to come out of my mouth. Right? So I'm not filtering. I'm just giving it to you straight, what I've seen. It's like, here it is. But the more that I'm me, it's like, whoa, this guy has no mask. And then you go, I got a bit of a mask. We'll work on that later with you guys, by the way. I got a bit of a mask. How could I get off my mask? So it inspires you maybe a little bit from that standpoint. Then you say, that guy's being fully himself. How could I be fully myself? Inspires you a bit from that point. And then you say, in a world of people that are trying to fit into consensus, not being themselves, this is kind of like water in a desert. This person has taken off the mask. Now, for a lot of people, you say take off the mask, they're like, well, I'm just depressed and I'm an introvert. That's not you, okay? You're not, there's no such thing as depression and there's no such thing as an introvert. Okay, depression is called you ate the wrong foods, you're not inspired, and all this other shit happened, okay? Yes, there is such thing as depression, but not in the way that they frame it. Yes, there's such thing as being an introvert, but not in the way they frame it. Like, oh, you think you're special because, like, other people gain energy from talking to people, but you gain energy from being alone. Bitch, we all gain energy being alone. Shut the fuck up, okay? We have to train ourselves to get out and meet people, okay? Like, stop. Like, you don't get to make a label. Like, you know, I gain energy from, like, getting a massage. Like, yes, bravo. Like, everybody gets that. That's not, you're not special, okay? Like, everyone's an introvert. But some people pass the threshold to where they can get used to talking to other people and they find it energizing. They cultivate it. Introvert just means you didn't cultivate social skills. Like, I'm also a muscle-vert. I gain energy from not working out. You know, I'm also a fucking pies-vert. I gain energy from eating pies. Like, come on, bitch. Come on, bro. Come on, man. You can't have that one. You know? Oh, I'm so unique. It's energizing for me not to, like, put myself out there to sit here fucking alone, you know, masturbating my foot porn. Like, come on, bro. Come on, bro. Come on, bro. You can't claim that. You're a fucking a money vert. I get energy from not making money and smoking weed. Come on, bro. I'm an introvert. I have a special method for me. And there's a marketer on every corner who'll give it to you. Introvert, hey, what up, bro? Introvert dating, introvert social skills, introvert fucking whatever. Are you an introvert? Do you want a method that will let you keep being an introvert? Then you can win. Take the introvert course. Okay? So we do niche specifically because all the regular shit took in, okay? It got took in. So there's no more of that left. So now we're forced to do like on some weird shit. But by coincidence, what's kind of cool about that is A, the internet, because the internet came out, spies on all of us. So it's actually, the timing's perfect. But we're also kind of entering into an era more of authenticity, right? In an era of the internet, people want authenticity. They go to that authenticity. So it's like back in the day, you couldn't really be authentic. You ever seen that thing where they talk about like toxic masculinity? It's kind of bullshit. But in every bullshit thing, there is some truth. The positive point of the toxic masculinity thing is like, I don't want to be necessarily like a sensitive new age guy, but I don't also want to have to be the kind of guy I had to front that I was in the 80s. You guys, I'm 44, right? Back in the 80s when I grew up, everybody had to be a tough guy. It kind of peaked with like NWA and Eazy-E. Well, I was a fan of. R.I.P., right? So everybody's trying to be a tough guy back then. Problem is now it's like, the pendulum, sometimes the pendulum goes too far. We throw out the baby with the fucking bathwater, right? It's a little crazy. We got a little too crazy. But the point is, like, not everybody has to be a tough guy. Like, authenticity is viewed as more tough than fronting like a tough guy. You follow? You dig? Right? Trying to be a fake-ass tough guy is not as strong as being authentic. There's a strength in that. There was a guy called Brad Blanton. He wrote a book called Radical Honesty. And he would admit to all this crazy shit. But the more he admitted to all this horrible, crazy shit, he'd be like, yo, I fucked 2 dudes. had chlamydia 3 times. Like, it was, but you just like, damn, this guy's cool. Because he's so real. Like, that's what he showed in the book Radical Honesty. It's sold because I think people are sick of being fake. I think people heard the title, they're like, wait, I could do that? I crave that. I crave that. People crave that. So that authenticity is very, very key. Now, let's keep going. There's a niche of people that want the traditional person. Well, that's kind of taken up. But if you also can niche yourself a little bit, then you can find other people that have a high resonance with that. And you become a high-level resonant product. But the funny thing is, just like with niche marketing a business product, what happens to me if I do all these parties in LA and I take over the whole fucking social scene, which I've done? Different points in my life I've done that. This would sound kind of crazy. I used to get it back in the day where I'd walk down the street and girls would go, the most common word I got, probably because I had a beard, they would go, King of LA. And I would hear that 5-6 times a day. King of LA. I don't know why they said the word king. I just literally think it's because I have a beard. Not the guy that's trying to cure cancer. Not the guy who goes to Africa to help poor people. Not the guy who, sacrificed for his family. Like some idiot that threw a bunch of parties. King of LA. But in their world, that's what they think is the king of LA. Even though it's ridiculous. Patently ridiculous. But in their world and their life, oh, he knows the bouncers, the DJs, the club owners. He goes to parties. He runs the parties. He knows all my friends, hooked up with my friends. In their mind, that's the king. So what winds up happening is that even though you're super niche, you wind up being the main dude. And you wind up being the dude who's dating most of them. And that will also happen to you. So even though in reality, you're niche, you often wind up, if you keep playing that angle and you ride that angle, you wind up becoming the mainstream thing. Remember back, it used to be like baggy jeans for rappers, and then Kanye came and he made the college dropout. Remember that? And he was like, I'm not gonna rap about like gangster rap became a self-caricature. I got guns, I sell drugs, I fuck bitches, I kill people, I sell drugs, I got guns, I kill people, right? It's a stereotype. So homeboy came along and he said, nah, I'm gonna wear a backpack, a school backpack. He did auto-tune, a lot of weird shit. And he broke the mold, because Kanye is so fucking, he's crazy, right? But he's so confident, he broke the mold. But he had to believe in it. Do you guys see the way I'm talking to you? Where it's not like I'm even necessarily confident, right? I'm not necessarily confident. I just took off the mask. I'm not, because confident, like, hey, listen, I'm not like that. I'm projecting so that the back of the room can hear without speakers, right? Sometimes people in my videos think I'm yelling. I'm like, yo, I do public speaking without speakers. I want the back of the room to hear me. Can you guys hear me in the back? Yeah. Pretty cool, right? Yeah. But I'm not trying to come at you like confident like. I'm just trying to come at you like, take it or leave it. Maybe that is the definition of confidence. I don't know. But we think of confidence kind of like bravado, right? I'm not trying to show you bravado. I'm trying to show you, okay? So when I go out, okay? I'm not trying to be the Giga Chad. I'm not trying to have everybody like me. I don't expect everybody like me. I'm not mad if they don't. I'm leaning into who I am, and like a mountain climber looking for stable parts of the mountain to get leverage, I'm looking for unique parts of my personality that is who I genuinely am. Who I genuinely am. And then I'm saying to myself, how can I lean into that, curate that in something, release it authentically and nicely curated for the world to see. So, you ever see the video Truth About Success, the OG one? I remember I put out this video. It's called Truth About Success. And It was a very weird rant about success. And it was how I really felt. I was very emotional. I talked about my belief in God. I talked about all this weird stuff, destiny. I'm like, man, this is weird. This is when I was younger, right? And I'm like, man, this is weird. And I was never, ever going to release that. I'm like, now I'll put out the dating stuff. And then I was like, well, you know, the cool thing with YouTube is you can delete it. As you have seen me do with some videos when I have no choice, right? So you can delete your videos. So I said, I'll put it out and we'll delete it next week. That video was like the career-defining video for me. Why? It's who I am. Just who I am. I have a 52 video series that I've been working on, shot in nature. I cry in almost every video. I mean, is that confident? Crying? A grown man crying? But I'm talking about things that are really, really emotionally intense for me, right? Emotionally overwhelming. And I believe that those videos will go down, for anybody who likes my stuff, will be history-making videos. Because it's a human being digging fucking deep into their subjective experience and how they are processing that experience and how they're making sense out of it and then how they're parlaying that into better outcomes. So you've got to, the problem is that a lot of people, there's just not a lot going on. In other words, the person is in what? Consensus reality. The person is in consensus reality. All that's going on is not, is this accurate? Rather, what their brain is saying is, does this allow social harmony? Does this create cohesion? And most important, if I say that I believe this, does it prevent me from getting killed? 2020 hits. Just following orders. Remember back in the day, before 2020, people would say, which I think sounds nice, that if they were Germans during World War II, that they would have never done those horrible things. Well, they did this thing called the Milton experiment. You ever seen the Milton experiment?
Yes.
Is that the name of it? Sorry.
Milgram.
I knew that was wrong. Okay. The Milgram experiment. The Milgram experiment shows if you bring someone in and tell them, like, torture this other person, the average person will do it. To the point they think the person died because the person's wearing a white lab coat. They did that to figure out how the atrocities of World War II could happen. 2020, while not an atrocity like World War II, revealed to us the groupthink. Okay? It was revealed to us in plain sight. You saw groupthink. You saw people out paddleboarding getting arrested. You could kill grandma paddleboarding. Okay? You fucking saw it! And you tolerated it. And you did what? Nothing. But you think that you're better than the people in World War II. That you would have been any different. But you'll let someone get arrested fucking paddleboarding. Maybe not as bad as a gas chamber. But you fucking saw it and you did nothing. Nothing. So you know that you did nothing.
I was the exception.
Good for you. Yeah. I clowned it from the day it happened. And everyone went, don't do it. And my staff went, don't clown it. You'll get in trouble. Fuck you. Okay? And then I just drove around in nature for several years. So understanding this thing of groupthink, why does that shit happen? It happens because the human brain, when you don't believe in God, or if you're not hella confident, thinks that you're at risk of dying. So all that your brain will do, all it's gonna do, guys, is think, how do I fit in the group? How do I fit in the group? How do I fit in the group? So you fit in the group, you go take your generic education, you go do your generic job, and you think of how to fit in the fucking group. But guess what? The social contract is over! Now, you try to work at the factory, you want the picket fence, the wife, the 2 kids, the dog, you're gonna get fucked. It ain't there anymore. You say, I agree with the powers that be. They say, sit in your house for a year, piggy. Oink, oink. Sit in your house. Sit in your fucking house. Okay? So the social contract's done. You understand? You say to yourself, I want to believe different experts. They're bought off in many cases. Some cases not. Bought off. You want to get married? There's not even such thing as fucking marriage in this country. Do you understand? It doesn't exist. Marriage is when two people get together and make a commitment. That's not a thing here. Marriage it's institutional corruption, where they've made it a bad deal, knowing that people will stop getting married, knowing that the next generation won't want to get married, which means less kids, which means less population. How many people in this room would get married? You go back to when I first started teaching this, 2002, 99% of the room want to get married. 99% of the room want to get married. They wanted to date for about a year or two and get married. Our niche was, we'll show you how to date for a year or two and get fucking married. Now I can get barely 5 people in a room to say they get married. Women or men. Because it's institutionally corrupt. It's designed to fail. It's designed to drive us against marriage. It's designed to drive down kids. Total institutional corruption. You go to eat the 4 food groups, what the fuck is that filled with? Okay? You go to put a cell phone by your head, what the fuck is that gonna do? Maybe we'll go ask my friend Seth that died of a brain tumor at 29. I'm sure it was a coincidence. So, my firstborn son, we trusted. Lights out. Autism. So, just like that. Like as if I'm here, next thing, like that. Lights out. So, understand something, okay? The day of groupthink is over. You can't be in a niche anymore. Or sorry, you can't be non-niche anymore. Okay? They got me. The Matrix got me. Okay? They're surveilling you. You're under fucking surveillance. You're under fucking lockdown. They're putting shit in you. Okay? And they're getting shit out of you. It's finished, guys. That's over. The hard-fought freedoms of greater men than us, we survived off the fumes of that. That's over. 50, 60 years ago, the middle class had half the wealth. That's not the case anymore. That's over. 50, 60 years ago, a guy who was a 7 could get married to a girl that was a 7. That's not a thing. But see, they don't want the female 7 marrying the guy 7 because the guy 7 would commit to her and love her and build a family with her. They want her fucking miserable, thinking that she's gonna date Drake and perpetually single miserable and then believing a dog is her boyfriend. And many women do believe that a dog is their boyfriend. You ever seen it?
Yes.
Once you've seen it, you can't unsee it. Amazing women. They post on their Instagram, I love my dog, but I never want a boyfriend. They have a fuck buddy, and they believe that they get their emotional fulfillment from their dog. This is real. They'd rather a dog than you. It's the conditioning. It's the conditioning. It's the conditioning. It's the conditioning. Okay? So what this also means, guys, is that niche-based teachers who see through the fucking haze are being sought out. Right now, the corporate media is dying. Who here trusts corporate media? Put your hand up. Who here believes that CNN is amongst the top 100 source for news? Don't be afraid to be a rebel and say if you think so.
Top 100. I'm gonna give it a...
Hey, bro. I'll give it to you on the balls to say it. Something tells me you probably don't watch the news, but I'll give you balls for saying it, okay? So, I mean, look, Cuomo just got canned, and now he's doing an about face on half the shit that he fucking said on CNN. So it's, you know, it's becoming obvious, right? It's just obvious. They're corrupting the institutions deliberately. They're destroying them deliberately. Fucking Star Wars got corrupted. I remember watching Star Wars. I'm like, is this establishment propaganda? It was the second one in the new series. I'm like, am I watching establishment propaganda? I'm like, I think I've become paranoid. I'm paranoid. I'm like, I gotta stop being so paranoid. I feel like I'm watching establishment propaganda. It was absolute, utter establishment. They hijacked Star Wars. Fuck, these motherfuckers have no shame. They're like nut punchers, you know? They're nut punchers. You know, you think they're like the boxing match, and they go, boom, hit you in the nut. There's nothing too low. There's nothing too low for these fuckers. Do you understand? They'll come after Star Wars. They'll come after your kids. They'll do anything. So understand, this is, and by these fuckers, who do I mean? Well, I'm Christian. So who do you think I mean? Who do you think I mean? Satan. It's fucking Satan. Satan runs these fuckers. That's my personal belief. I believe they're run by Satan, and I believe that. And if you guys tell me to, I'll spend the next 2 days telling you why I think that. But I think you got better things to do. But if you want to, we'll make it the Satan seminar. That'll be a hell of a seminar. But I don't believe what I believe for no reason. Okay? I believe the Bible is the most misunderstood book in the world. I've never been to a church where I felt it was understood. I see something very different out of the Bible. Very different. You know? When you talk about turning water into wine, motherfuckers are like, oh, the water into wine. I see something very different. Okay? So I see something very different. So the Bible is my favorite book, but I read it very differently than how it's typically read. So, you know, Satan to me is not a guy. It's not a guy with horns and a pitchfork, like ha 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 ha. Okay, it's manifest here as an energy that runs people's fucking brain, and you can watch it running their brain. I can show you what to look for the way I can show you what a shit test is. You know when you can see what a shit test is, you know what that is. You can see when that energy is running someone's brain, and you can see how it's being transmitted and how it wants to spread. So that's what you're dealing with. So understand that if you're in the mainstream now, you're in a fucking satanic uprising, and you're in and all that work that our ancestors did to secure freedom and a prosperous middle class is getting taken away. You're fucked, okay? You are fucked. The idea of thinking niche, the idea of being niche is not just having a niche product to make money. Having a niche product is not just about getting a better girlfriend. Having a niche product is not just about finding ways to make money as money becomes more scarce. A niche is a state of mind. It's a state of mind that says, I don't seek consensus. I use the brain power to look at what it is that I'm seeing and to make my own decision. So if you remember Blueprint Decoded, I said we get our reality both from first-hand experience and second-hand experience, which is groupthink. The mind is lazy. A consensus-seeking mind is typically a lazy mind. So what we do is we're just very, very, very lazy, and we just want to think what the group thinks. So we look for who's the person the most confident, and then we want to take our umbilical cord and plug it into them. That's why when you go out, if a girl rejects you, you feel so terrible, because the group think rejected you. When the book by Neil Strauss came out that insulted me, and you guys ever read that one? I looked super bad in it. In 2005, only 3 years in my career, Neil Strauss wrote a book trashing me for about 200 pages. I was devastated at the time. Why? Because I felt rejected by the group think. I didn't have the capacity, like, even though I knew what was in the book was trash, great book though, but about me was not the experience that I saw. Even though I knew what happened. I was there. But it kind of felt like I'd done all the shit he said, because everybody believed it. I was there. I know what happened. But it felt, because 5 million people believed I was this other thing, I could feel my mind getting sucked into it. I didn't even talk about that book for something like 15 years. I made a choice. I'm like, I'm just not going to talk about this. I'm just going to do my best work. I talk about it now. But, because I felt like at the time it would have seemed offensive, but it's 20 years ago now. So now I'd be stupid to even bring it up. But I'm giving this example. So that's called groupthink. I felt like shit for 3 years. That's 3 years of my life I felt like shit. If you had 5 million people thinking you're a piece of shit, a couple of years you might feel like shit. How would you ever get over it though? How would you finally get over feeling like shit about that? What transformation would you have to have?
Transcend the whole paradigm.
Yell that to the group?
Transcend the whole paradigm.
Yeah, transcend the whole paradigm, right? So the gift that Neil Strauss gave me was he made it where I had to start to think for myself. I couldn't be in the group anymore because I was kicked out of the group. But guess what, guys? You've all been bitten by that vampire. You've all been kicked out of the group. You've all been put under a year of lockdown. You've all been exposed to the system that I've talked about here. Every last one of you. You've all been kicked out. You've all suffered that. So if that's the case, if that's happened to you, what kind of shift globally do we have to have? Globally. Have to have a fucking global awakening. As tacky and cliche as that sounds. Why do we have to have a global awakening? Because the paradigm has become too toxic. The past paradigm's too toxic. You will not survive within a paradigm of groupthink anymore. They'll get you. So, Satan. Like, literally, the devil will kill you if you're in groupthink. You will die. Okay? You'll die anyway, but you will die. Okay? They will take your money, they will take your happiness, and they will take your soul. You will die. So the only way out of that is to turn on this. And if you turn on this, you're going to be just fine. And it's going to be awesome. It's really, really cool. But this has to fucking come on. So that means when you look at things, you've got to look at it through your own eyes. So when we talk about things like money and you're broke, why are you broke? Do you not know why you're broke? What does the brokenness signify about you? What does it say about you?
Low value.
You're unconscious.
Unconscious. And a drug addict to the system. Okay? You are a drug addict. So what's happened is they get you at every angle. Looking at dumb shit on your phone, consuming dumb shit, stupid ass paradigms, low vibe energy, all this bullshit, okay? They get you and get you and get you and get you. So you got to pull it out of your arm, you got to go through the withdrawal, and you got to heal. And let me be clear, you all have to heal. All of you have to heal from that paradigm. You are infected by it, you are destroyed by it. Wealth is a sign that in some level you healed. Different forms of wealth, by the way. The people that are creating the systems are often wealthy and sick themselves. That's another topic. But you, as somebody who would get money, well, what would you have to do to get that money? You'd have to start thinking. You would have to shy away from mental laziness, and you'd have to begin to think. What is the first thing I'm getting you to think about? Stop chasing the approval of other people. Stop seeking out consensus reality. Look, learn from experts. Okay, just because you found a weird form in a rabbit hole doesn't mean that's the answer either by default. When I broke my leg, I went to a top surgeon. I didn't say I'm going to take fucking ginseng. Ginseng might have helped me heal subsequently, I don't know. But I didn't think my ginseng is going to make my leg reconstruct. I have a bunch of wires and plates in my leg. That was done by experts. I use cell phones done by experts. This building is created by experts. I'm not saying that experts are inherent bad or that the entire system is toxified. But there's enough in the system that is toxified and the paradigm itself that they will allow certain things to exist that benefit that system, maybe a building or fixing your leg, but when it comes to your true awakening, that's not permitted. And when it comes to your true financial freedom, that's also not permitted unless done within the system. And done within the system, what is the average wealthy person inside? I can stand on one leg, not the broken one. What does the one person within the system look like? What do they look like when they got richer than the system? They've sold their souls out. Look what they look like. Hello, I'm wearing my plain suit. Hi there. What's up? Like, how are you doing? It's all very formal, right? They can't even joke. If I tell a joke to someone in the system, not some bullshit, like, look at the news, right? Like the mainstream news, they're like, hey, Martha, how's the weather out there today? Ha 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 ha, Jim, it's a little nippy. Oh, right? They can't even say something fucking funny, right? They want to do the Klaus Schwab masturbation foot fetish joke. Can't do it. Somebody in the system, if they were in this room, would look tangibly uncomfortable laughing at that because they're afraid that they could be fired for laughing at that joke. And in some of those systems, you even like the wrong tweet, you get fired. So it's real. It's how disgusting that is. How against free thought that is. But we had a constitution that enforced our ability to think freely. We were allowed to be authentic. It was the First Amendment. And did we care about that First Amendment? When different doctors came around during 2020 with difference of opinions, did we stick up for them? No. No. So we didn't care. That was won by people. I'm not saying to go get all crazy and violent. I'm anti-violent. But I'm saying like there was people that were ready to die so they could think. The average person right now is ready to die so they could avoid thinking. They're ready to die to not think. These motherfuckers back in 70 and 76 were ready to die to think. They're ready to die so they could choose what tea they could drink. You're gonna tell me what tea I could drink? Oh, hell no. Boston Tea Party. But now you die to avoid thinking. It's called the end of an empire. America is not this geography, guys. We're going to lose this. We've probably already did lose it. America is Hong Kong. When people who care more about their fucking freedom, that are ready to risk it all, carry an American flag to protest China suppressing them. That's more America. They are more American in the legacy of America than people living here. So the Holy Land that is here, that God touched down upon us, that freedom, that was not freedom for all initially, but later became that we might not keep that here. We don't know if we're going to keep that here. I think we should, but I'm in the minority. Sometimes it takes you a Canadian to tell you how to be a fucking American. Okay? But we may not keep it here. I don't know. My great uncle Ramsey Cook was one of the biographers for Pierre Elliott Trudeau. I was proud of that. He was friends with Pierre. My great uncle Ramsey Cook, who I'm related to, was a biographer for Pierre Trudeau. How do you think I feel watching Justin Trudeau and the things that he did? Can you imagine my pride and how I feel seeing that? Something I was proud of, right? But people will vote him in to suppress them, to suppress their ability to believe that 2 + 2 = 4. They'll vote him in to believe that 2 + 2 = 5. So there's a separation of the wheat from the chaff. And, it's going to go in two different directions. And the biggest lesson in the Bible is not so much that if you have that awakening that everything goes perfect, right? It's that when you have that awakening, you could be persecuted for that. Because the people that are in that lower level consciousness inherently and instinctively attack. But the next generation of personal growth will be creating niches and worlds of people who can think, and them doing commerce with each other, and them creating their own world. And we see that in the book of Exodus, right? Where Moses leaves, and in the book of Exodus, they leave Egypt, and they wander in the desert for 40 years. And we will wander in the desert for 40 years. Those people who don't want to buy into this will wander until we find the promised land, right? Until there's enough people who want to fucking think and who care about thinking. And it'll be a wandering period. And my son may have to go through that. I want to be here for my son so bad to lead them through that, but that's not my fight. That will be their fight. And for those of you that are in your 20s, I'm in my mid-40s, that will be your fight. You've already been locked down for a year. That will be your fight. But you have thousands of years of wisdom in your cells. Thousands and thousands of years of wisdom stored within you that's there, that you can draw from. But our lives have been so easy. The freedom that people that were willing to die for it, our lives have been so easy that we become so lethargic, we don't even know what that stuff is. We don't know what that stuff is. We don't know how to tap into those resources. But we will tap into those resources, whether you like it or not. And those who don't will die. So it won't matter. There will be a separation of the wheat from the chaff. Those who can't tap into that, will be gone. Okay? So, and by the way, I didn't even come here meaning to talk about all this. Okay? So that's what will happen, okay? So the new personal growth is not going to be, and I love Tony Robbins, by the way. I'll keep paying him for courses. The new the new self-help will not be, you're going to get a car. You know, right? You can do it. That's not going to be the new self-help. The new self-help is going to be how to not be on the fucking dick of the system, how to pull the system's cock out of your mouth and stop drinking its cum. And the new self-help will be people with a mind that is awake. Now, ironically, here's the irony. I'll sit here and talk to wake the fuck up and think for yourself. And then the people who see this who don't like it will say, oh, the people that are there are being tricked to think for themselves. Do you see that? So you have to understand, anything that is positive, immediately they surround it with lies, propaganda, negative media. You know, if you have negative media about you, you're right over the target. Negative media. But even with things like the church, the wisdom of the Bible is surrounded with people that are having conversations about whether or not they swore and whether or not they had a hookup in college. Right? It's like these conversations about like, should a man be participating in a woman's sport? And there's hours of dialogue about this. Like, should a guy with this big cock be in a woman's bathroom and like dunking on them in sports? And by the way, I like transgender people, to be very clear. But I don't think they should be dunking on our mothers and sisters and daughters any more than I want to think you should do it or whatever. So the thing is that like, what does a discussion like that do? It's a distraction. You remember in World War II, when they go over during D-Day, what kind of parachuters do the Allies dump on Hitler? What do they dump on him? The parachutes. What's it called? It's called a Rupert. What they do fake parachuters, okay? They get all these fake parachuters where they make it look like they're going to do an invasion of a different part of Europe. Because what happened was Hitler had taken over all of the mainland Europe, right? They couldn't get back on mainland Europe. They couldn't get a beachhead to get back in. That's what D-Day was. So then they got to get back in there. So they take all these Ruperts and they took all these fake tanks, like blow up tanks and shit, and they made even like this big thing that made it look on the radar like they were going to come over from one side. Then they came over on the beach of Normandy. Still got slaughtered on their way in, but they were able to get a beachhead and eventually win. So the thing is that the Ruperts are a distraction, right? Talking about if a dude dunked on a girl in a basketball game, that's normal, all that is a distraction. Talking about whether you swore or not as a Christian is a distraction from what's in let me put it to you this way. If you don't cry when you read the Bible, you didn't read it. If you don't scream when you read the Bible, you didn't read it. If you don't take it and throw it against the wall and start shaking, go, what the fuck? Then you didn't read it. You understand? You didn't read it. You didn't read it. You maybe put your eyes over it. You didn't read it. You should cry when you read that because you should see the sickness that's inside of you and you should see it with total clarity, see how wrong you've been, and then literally it starts shaking you and the fucking demon pops off your fucking head and you go, holy shit, I'm awake. And then you start crying. That's what happens when you read the Bible, by the way. Okay? Thank you. Yeah. That's what it should be doing for people who follow that. That's what should happen. Not this like, did you swear? You know, I'm really into like this. I won't say the word fuck. Did you hook up with someone in college? Oh my God. Oh my gosh. Okay? Yeah, but you have a demon on you. Yeah, but in the meantime, I'm not going to swear while having a demon on me. Come on in, guys. You came at the perfect time. Okay, so you see where I'm going with this? Right? It's a distraction from what's in the book. Right? Like, did Noah's Ark really happen? I think it did. It's a distraction. It's a dumb conversation. It's a dumb conversation. Even a conversation where people will say, do you believe that Jesus was a real man? If you have a demon on your head, take the demon off your head and then we'll have that conversation because really that conversation is designed to antagonize. So it's not even a conversation, okay? Until you got to the core of the book itself. I mean, this is a bizarre comparison, but it's like if you read the 4-Hour Work Week, well, do you have a job where you could work 4 hours? Well, then why are then why are we even having a conversation? Go get the 4-hour job and then talk. Well, and, then you can nitpick the book. In the same way, if you read the Bible and you haven't had the awakening, then why are you going to sit there to nitpick the book? So these are distractions that we have, okay? It's all a distraction. The media being thrown at you is a distraction. They make fake issues, left, right politics as a distraction. It's distraction. It's you need to understand something, guys. It's lies upon lies upon lies upon lies. Distractions upon distractions upon distractions upon distractions upon distractions. You're in a fucking mist. Do you understand? You're in a fucking mist. Your mind is not working. You're in this mist where you're like, what this person think of me? I want to get a watch. I get a car. I don't like this. I don't like that other political party. What do I think of this? Right? You're in a fucking mist. Okay? In the book of Exodus, we have something called the golden calf, where people have what's called idolatry. They worship something other than God. They connect to that thing. We have idolatry all around us. It's not just a golden calf. The golden calf's a metaphor, right? If you're like, is the golden calf real? Did that really happen? I don't want to have that conversation until you understand what idolatry is. And then when you understand what idolatry is and you see how you're doing that and you see how you're fucked in the head and that I'm also fucked in the head, that we're all fucked in the head, but we're working to come out of it. It's a journey. Then what does it matter? It's a false conversation. It's all a false conversation. Every single bit of it is a false conversation. It's lies upon lies upon lies upon lies because you're in a trance. You're in an easily manipulated consumer culture, low vibe, satanic trance, just like this, right? And 2020, we saw what could happen. We saw it. So it doesn't matter. What does it matter whether you got laid or you got money or that the thing in the Bible that you read is Noah's Ark real, or the guy in the women's sport? It's all a bunch of fucking Ruperts. Okay? It's just scattering your attention. You know how you should think of it is like this. You should think of it like you're going there. The light is there. And everything else should be subsequent to that. Every other thing until you wake the fuck up. Every other thing. But the problem is they'll tell you that the way you wake up is you sit in an ashram for 10 years. Or pray. Okay? And those are good tools. But that's not the thing. So we have a system in which we live where we can be tested. Awakening could be something as simple as forgetting your keys, and for the 2 hours that you wait for a locksmith, you sit in gratitude. Awakening could be something as simple as that. Awakening could be something as simple as, I suck with social skills. I'm afraid to go say hi to people. I've got to control my state. Awakening could be something as simple as, I'm in a fucking derp state and can't find a fucking niche and I'm broke. So I've got to get out of a derp state, find a fucking niche, think for myself, and have some money so I can raise a kid. So it's, so you have the playground in front of you to play with this shit. You don't need to go to like a top of a mountain or something like that. That'd be fun. I mean, here in Colorado, you go to the top of a mountain. But, it's the metaphorical mountain, right? So you guys have within you an absolute capacity to wake up, okay? But you got to understand, like, when I see people who are just following along on the beaten trail to nowhere, to being, commoditized, I'm like, man, you got to wake up. Come on. Like Martin Luther King, George Washington, Nelson Mandela, people in World War II, like people, and not just that, they're just the icons that we know. It's all the faceless people who rallied behind them, died. So you could use your brain and be free thinking and to do with your life what you want. And you can do with your life what you want. Almost anything. And you can evolve. So people died for that, but then you sit there smoking drugs because it feels good. So you don't have a context. If you watched, go watch World War II, Greatest Events in Color, or World War II, Road to Victory on Netflix. Go watch that stuff. You'll look Hitler dead in the eye because they've got footage of this fucker. You basically are seeing Satan dead in the eye. And you'll get some kind of a context for what got us here and your ability to just walk down a street without harassment, which we've lost temporarily at times. So if that was given to you, okay, if Jesus died on the cross, well, what are you going to do with that? What are you going to build out of that? And this may be the end of an era where we ride off of that awesome, easy life. I don't ever get depressed because I know that we're in the easiest, most cushy time ever. We might be on the tail end of it. Could be end of an empire. We don't know yet. Shall see. We don't know. Maybe new paradigms happen. AI, stem cells, all this stuff. Entirely new paradigms where what we know now, everything's flipped on its head. We don't really know, okay? But what I would tell you is live your fucking life. Approach a girl. Make your meals. Travel. Read. But most important is switch on your fucking brain. So when I see people that are just broke or that can't get their socials down, I'm like, come on, guys. Come on. Come on, guys. George Washington. Martin Luther King. World War II. Like, come on, guys. Come on. Come on. But I think that we forget, right? We live in a society where that's not in our face. It's not in our face. We don't know what it took to get to this point because we didn't see it personally. So go study history would be another thing I would tell you. Study a lot of history. When I read about Nelson Mandela, I don't just read about Nelson Mandela. I go to South Africa. I go meet F.W. de Klerk. I go meet Ahmed Kathrada. I go see the story. You know, when I read about Martin Luther King, I go to Alabama. I see where he lived. I see his house. I want it to be real. Go to Washington, D.C. Go to the monuments that are there. And I mean this when I say it. I'm not kidding. Cry. Say thank you. That's not being a bitch. Do you understand? That's called you're not a fucking punk. You know, that's just basic level gratitude. That will compel you to want to go do something with your life, knowing that others died so that you could do it. Look, to be real, even if it wasn't all these people, your own mother had to shoot you out of her pussy. That should be enough there. You ever seen this? I got 3 kids. It's brutal. Ah! Okay? Mom's crying, kids crying, doctor's freaking out. Chaos. Okay? So, you know, dad's got to raise you. That costs money. Do something with it. Even something as simple as the national park system. Do you know how beautiful just the American national park system is? Nothing you buy with money is as good as that. Nothing you could buy with money is better than the shit you have for free in the American national park system. But you won't go see it. Make the time to go see it. Sleep in your car. Sleep in your car. Get a tent with an air mattress and go see the national park system. A lot of them now, you've got to make a little reservation. Costs $1. Okay? Annoys me too. Keeps the traffic down. Okay? So, you know, so go see these things. Go see nature up close. Go see God's creation up close. Have some gratitude. Wake the fuck up. Okay? Have some gratitude for your life. So the money that you make funds that. You know, if I come out here to do an event, like, why do I come to Denver? I want to see some of the natural environment outside of Denver. I want to fly my kids here. My kids will go see the whole city, and then I'll take my kids around the Rockies. I'll take my kids to San Juan Mountains. How many of you guys here in Denver have been into the San Juans, like down by Telluride? Man, I'm going to kill you fuckers. Okay? I drive 50 and 16 hours from LA to go to Telluride, and you guys are close to it. You haven't even been there. I'm going to kill you fucking people. Okay? Do you know how far I've been to Telluride many times. I pay full price, got to drive real far. You guys have it right here. Okay? But you don't go see it. So go to Telluride, go see it, go hiking, go skiing, get an epic pass, go skiing. Then you could be a broken leg like me. Okay? But go see it. So, okay? So what I'm trying to show you here is at its core, a lot of this niche stuff that we started back to circle back that and wrap this thread up, what I'm trying to show you is to think. Okay? Just being in the system, thinking the system's going to take care of you is probably not going to get you very, very far. And it's going to have diminishing returns as we go on. So for your business, And for your social life and your dating life, start waking the fuck up and thinking to yourself, how do I use my mind to get the outcomes that I want? And in that process, how can I get in touch with my spiritual capacities and add more to the world? So this was like a sledgehammering for you guys, what I was aiming for. And it's funny because I came in wanting to talk a little bit more brass tacks business stuff. And then I started saying that you're going to die. So that kind of slipped out. I didn't mean for that to slip out, actually. Okay, I don't like to be the guy to say that stuff. I think it comes across a little much, to be honest. But I'm telling you what I think, okay? Maybe you'll be just fine. So, I don't know. I'm not a prophet. I mean,
You look like one.
you know, I predicted like fucking half the shit that's happened, but I'm not an actual prophet. I just think a bit. So what I would say is, you know, try to use your mind a little bit, okay? So look, I have actually had a different view than a lot of teachers because I believe that what gets you there actually is some of the things that some people will call superficial. So in other words, I've seen people that have been, that in my, to me, to my eye, to my personal opinion, and my personal sensibilities, are more enlightened than teachers of enlightenment or students of enlightenment. Because I go to a lot of these enlightenment things, right? I go to church, I go to Eckhart Tolle events, I go to other teachers' events that are spiritual. And a lot of what I keep seeing there is people that are very fragile. They're not really there for enlightenment, they're there to cope. They're not there for enlightenment, they're there to cope. They like the icky, the syrupy, bubblegum spiritual stuff, like just feel good, just feel happy, raise your vibe, hug the crystal. Like they like that stuff, right? And I'm like, motherfucker, you ain't shit, you know, right? And they're like, that's not enlightened. I'm like, actually, that could be quite enlightened. It's called the damn truth. And the truth shall set you free, bitch. So maybe you should wake the fuck up. So, you know, so the thing is like, you know, I was also influenced by a guy who has a very, very weird books off the wall, but a guy named Jed McKenna, and he would talk about, it was a book called Enlightenment's the Damnedest Thing. He's got like a bunch of books. They're really off the wall. I'm not sure what I think of them, to be honest, but I get value from everything because I know how to parse it out. Powerful books. And he basically said that, like, you know, a lot of the concepts we have about spiritual growth are he would call it like another ride in the amusement park, but not true enlightenment. And that basically it was like this kind of bubblegum, entertainment, but not really enlightenment. Kind of like if we, go to a zoo and we think that that's the African savanna. So it's just, there's just levels to this game, okay? And so, another place I'd recommend you go, by the way. Beautiful. So, a lot of what I like to teach as far as like making money or social skills, I like that because it gives you a project to test yourself. It gives you something, it gives you something to test yourself. In other words, can you stay present and in gratitude when you're building something that's hard? Okay, like one of the girls I'm dating who's great, she's actually a self-made millionaire, she's really cool. And she is very into spiritual growth. But I'll bring her marketing books and she doesn't want to read those. She wants to read the more classical spiritual books. I'm like, you're supposed to be this like elevated woman, but you can't read Alex fucking Hormozy, right? Can't read $100 million leads, babe?
I'm reading that right now.
Cool. Great book. You're enlightened. Well, if you're enlightened, you think you could read something other than a syrupy spiritual book? Like, what did this enlightenment buy you if it's just to read more spiritual books and to meditate? Didn't get you much. Oh, well, that's in the physical. Well, you're in the...
Alex from he's like 30 years old, and he started a company called acquisition.com, and he's worth hundreds of millions of dollars, and he's not even 40 years old. So.
He's a badass.
Badass.
He's got his ups and downs like anybody, but in that niche, he's the biggest badass on the block. So it's what I'm saying is that if you're so damn enlightened, well, then I think you can make your first million. You see? Because to me, the essence of real awakening is you're at the cause, not the effect, and life is easy. Do you catch that? What's the first one?
At the cause, not the effect.
Say it louder.
At the cause, not the effect.
And what's the second thing? Life's easy. In other words, you need some money? You got it. You want to meet a cool girl? You got it. You want to go on some cool trip? You could do it. Right? So you don't spiritually bypass. You figure this stuff out. So leave you with that, okay? What I want you guys to do, here's what I want you guys to do. I want you guys to take a break working with each other now, and talk about the major lessons that you've got so far. Okay, the major lessons that you got so far. Okay? How you're going to change your life. Because none of this that we talked about here is meaningful unless you talk about how to change your life. Okay?